So it was a nice surprise that it was $1.2 billion.
Finally, a pleasant announcement at the state capitol this afternoon. The Comptroller's office says that they predict revenue in the next 2 years will be up by $1.2 billion, a lot more for lawmakers to work with in the struggling budget.
KXAN's political reporter Josh Hinkle has been following this story today, of course, at the Capitol, and Josh has that news and a major warning from the governor. Josh?
Yeah, that's right. The money that you just talked about is something that lawmakers are going to have to consider in the last 2 weeks of the session. But right now, they need to consider money about public education and higher education and whether that funding will force us into a special session this summer. The governor says that is not an option, that he will not sign off on a budget that doesn't include everything.
I think if you separate one article and you did it in special session, you wouldn't have the advantage of being able to work with the entire budget.
To do an official budget that locks in everything else and leaves public education for the end and doesn't set public education as the first priority, I think is wrong.
That was the buzz in both chambers today. With that pressure from the governor and a good indication from Lieutenant Governor David Dewhurst today, that special session for education might not be necessary. Dewhurst said the conference committee is very close to closing things up, and we know that they are still in closed-door work sessions today on that one section of the budget as they passed everything else last night. Dewhurst says senators are pushing for their $4 billion in cuts to education, about half as much as the House. The only way he sees to avoid forcing school districts to ask local taxpayers for more money.
So I don't want to short public education and create a tax hike for people all around the state of Texas.
Now back to that increase of $1.2 billion the comptroller said she has estimated for state revenue in the next 2 years. Still unclear how lawmakers will use it, but it's likely they will use that money to pump it back into the budget, help that compromise close a little earlier, and possibly avoid a special session this summer. For now, we're live at the state capitol. Josh Hinkle, KXAN, Austin News.